Lucas is good for the sole. It'll be fine. It'll hold. Hey guys, welcome back to 3BR Off-Road. Today, back on my Ranger, getting some stuff done. Radiator's already out. That's right there. Obviously, we're getting the radiator relocate done. I want to get that done today. Also need to finish buttoning up my transmission. So, most of the stuff's there. I gotta plug in some stuff, put the intake back on. Not a big deal. But, figured I'd go ahead and start off this episode with the reveal that I teased in the last episode. As you can tell, there are no longer portals on my bike. Why would I do that? Why would I take those off? Maybe it's because of those. So I decided it was time to go a little bit bigger. I want to run bigger tires, and I wasn't sure if the smaller 4-inch portals would hold up. So I got me a brand new set of Highlifter 6-inch dual idlers. These things are nice. We just did an install on our friend Derek's 2021 Ranger Crew. We did that install. Oh, I got the shop dog in here today. Say hi, Maverick. Say hi. Hi, Maverick. And I really liked those when we did that install. Really, really liked those. So, I thought to myself, yeah, we've been busting ass in the shop. Things are going pretty good. Why not treat myself? So I got rid of the other ones, and these are here now. So, the bike's going bigger. Don't know what tires I'm going to end up running yet, but that's what we're doing. That's the reveal right there. Not the dog. Portals. Not the dog. Definitely the portals. So, with that being said, today, I want to focus on getting the radiator relocate done. Need to get that done first. That's #1 on my list. And then the portals. But we have some cool stuff we're doing with that. These ball joints are going away. These upper ones. I'm going to figure out something for the lowers, but I have something to solve the upper ones right now. So, we will be modifying the brackets slightly to use what I want to use, but we'll get in that a little bit later. So, let's go ahead and get this radiator relocate done, since that's been on my plate for 3 months now. I've had it for a long time, and I'm that far. Stuff's cut out, fans on the new fans on the radiator, I should say. I just really got to get the brackets done and everything and get it all plumbed in. I don't know why I've been dragging my ass on it, but let's get to it. So, in the middle of this radiator relocate, and I just kind of want to get you guys caught up. Not really going to do step by step because it's really not a how-to channel, but just kind of take you through steps. So, overflow tank's been relocated to the firewall. Everything's been trimmed away up here. Full trimmed for the radiator hose, which I trimmed way too big, which is fine. I just didn't want to do just a hole and have it rub or anything. I'm going to give it plenty of space. And it's just plastic, doesn't really matter. The brackets are on the radiator. And the plug for the radiator fan has been connected to the new fan. And the holes are drilled where this is going to go. So, that's what I have this hardware for. We're going to go ahead and get that put in. And we'll check back in a second. Actually, before I get that mounted, I'm going to go ahead and get these wires relocated so they're not just dangling down here. I'm going to try and tidy them up against the firewall. We'll see what we can do. Okay, so the radiator is in, mounted. I filled it up, but we have to rip the radiator. So basically, need to get it running and everything. So I'm working on getting the intake and all the wires plugged back in so we can actually fire this thing up. Got the intake on. I have one more bolt. The bolt that actually holds it to the transmission mount. It goes right there. You can see it. So I got to put that one in. So all that's tightened down. Got to put the fuel line back onto the fuel rail, plug in injectors, all the plugs, all that good stuff so we don't get any codes. So once it's buttoned up, we can actually get this thing fired up and make sure there's no air pockets in the radiator and any of the lines. There shouldn't be. I filled it up pretty good. But, you know, happens. So alright, so everything's hooked back up. I do have one thing I have to figure out. So, this was the plug that went into the turf mode part in the transmission. And since I put this other case on here, you can see it right here. That's where that piece went. So, that's where this piece was. And it plugged in, and that's what controlled the turf mode and the rear end. So, obviously I don't have a turf spool in there anymore. I have a turf delete. So I need to figure out how to bypass that. I don't know if I can just jump the wires and it'll just read that, oh, it's on or off the entire time. I don't really care. I just don't want to throw code, and I know it's going to throw full drive code because it's not plugged in. So I got to figure that part out. But everything else is plugged in, so it should, in theory, fire up. Wish me luck, I guess. We'll see. Helps you have the batteries actually hooked up. Yeah, so much crap sitting in here. Everything's gonna shake and rattle off this thing. Hopefully it's not too terrible. Alright, now that we have power, we'll prime it up a few times. Yeah, it's already got a check engine light. Yeah, you can see it's already got a check engine light on there. So let's... yeah, that's a full drive code. Like 90% sure it's a full drive code. That's fine. You know what we can do? Just for shits and giggles, let's plug the other one in. Let's do that real quick. Alright, so I grabbed the one off the old transmission housing. Let's see if I can't just plug this in one-handed. Well, I have to set the camera down. Can't do it one-handed. Okay, so that's plugged in and just sitting there now. So, place it somewhere where it's going to be out of the way. Alright, now let's see if it'll start. Oh, check engine light's still there. Why do we have a check engine light? What else is unplugged? Alright guys, so I'm an idiot. It wasn't a full drive code. I had the voltage regulator unplugged, so it was throwing a code for that. I'm pretty sure that's what that was. So, let's see if I'm right. Still a check engine light. Alright, I'm doing something wrong. Check engine, same code. Huh, what am I doing wrong here? I gotta figure out what I'm doing wrong, guys. I'd rather not have a check engine light while I'm trying to do this, so let me figure it out. Alright guys, so I'm doubly an idiot. Not only was the voltage regulator unplugged, but the front diff, and that's why I was getting a full drive code. That would exactly be why. So, I didn't even bother plugging it back in, because that's another thing we gotta get into. We have to pull the front diff out because the pinion bearing shot. So we're gonna be doing that as well. Let's go ahead and get this thing running. Shouldn't have any issues. Should start up. Let's find out. Alright, she still runs. I just need to build up a little bit of fuel pressure there. But she's running. That's what matters. There's a little bleeder valve. You can burp the coolant if need be, but I don't think enough drained out to have to do that, but we'll see. So, everything seems to be working good though. Alright, so I'm going to let this do what it needs to do, and we'll come back here in a second, see if everything's working good. You can see the temperature is climbing. But, once that thermostat opens up, we'll see if it's flowing through the radiator or not. One thing I don't like about this kit so far, you can see, I'll show you on the other side, the radiator cap's here, and that's not the most friendly place to actually try and fill it. That's going to be a little bit of a problem. But, oh, so another thing, I added this here. So this will be a secondary temperature gauge. The reason I'm doing that is because I hate having to switch through my gauges on my dash. So I'm going to leave this one on RPM. I have a voltage gauge here in the middle to keep track of the voltage, and then I'll have that one to come up to this temp gauge, so I can keep an eye on the temperature, RPM, and the voltage all at the same time without having to switch back and forth on the dash there. I know it's right after the radiator, so it won't be a true engine temperature, but it'll at least let me know that, hey, this is working. It's, you know, the temperature's fluctuating. It's doing what it needs to do, and it'll let me know if it's getting hot or not. Because, I mean, unless we have an air pocket in the engine, then I have to use the one on the dash. But it's just another little fail-safe. You know, it doesn't hurt to have. I should find a way to be able to do it right here on the inlet, but I don't really want to worry about that. This will be good enough. It'll at least let me know that the bike's doing what it needs to do, and, you know, circulating the coolant and getting it to cool off. So that's why I added that. You know, did I need it? No. Am I gonna do it? Yes. Might be overkill, but I think it'll work out great, at least for me in the end. Just lazy and don't want to switch back and forth all the time. Alright, so she's been running for a few minutes now. It got up to like 184, then went back down to like 177. It's creeping back up now, but we're getting temp throughout the entire radiator. Inlet hose is hot. The outlet is, she's warm as well. Yeah, she's just leveling it off. She's not really going up the temp, so I'm gonna think it's good for now. I'm gonna go ahead and button up the rest of the radiator, relocate. All right, so the next step is to trim my hood. Have to get rid of my nice teal 3BR sticker, but basically I have to trim the hood to fit this piece. Gonna go ahead and mask it out and mark the lines on here and get it trimmed out. Let's jump to it. Alright, so the hood's done. Now we can go back over here and like that, it's done. So it came with a piece to put on the to cover this grill. Well, to cut that out and replace with. I'm gonna do that a later time. Don't really feel like doing that right now. Don't think it looks bad the way it is, so I'm gonna leave that alone. It's not too terrible a fitment. I feel like it could be a little bit better around here, but I'm not going to complain too much. Doesn't seem like it'll rattle too bad, so. You okay there? You okay? Just make sure you're okay, bud. You good? Give me a thumbs up if you're good. You good? Okay. Oh, got some more sneezes? But anyways, yeah, I think it looks good. I'm digging it. Hopefully it'll keep me from overheating with the clogged radiator all the time. We'll see. Probably end up still going that deep, but who knows. So the next thing on our plate for the Ranger is to remove the front diff. Thankfully, since we already had the transmission out, the dry shaft was already off, and since we already had the portals removed, axles, everything's out of the way that we need to be out of the way, I think I might have to remove the upper A-arm. I can't remember the last time I did this, if I was able to squeeze it out through there without taking the upper A-arm off. I'm hoping I can, but we'll see. Because if I gotta take the upper A-arm off, the bumper has to come off as well. I might be able to squeeze. No, because I think the bolt's too long. Anyways, all it's holding in right now is the 4 bottom bolts and the vent line. So I'm just going to get the vent line popped off from those 4 bottom 15mm bolts, and she should come out. So let's go ahead and get that done. Alright, so the front diff is out. Didn't have to take the upper arm off. It just barely squeezes through there. Not too bad, but it gets through. It's out. And then if you see the pinion, let's see if I can do it one-handed. Yeah, that bearing's shot. So we're gonna go ahead and pull it apart, inspect the whole thing, make sure everything looks good. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get it apart, get that bearing changed out. The kit came with the bearings for the 2 side ones. Probably go ahead and just put those on, just freshen the whole thing up while it's apart. Might as well. So let's go ahead and get this thing apart. All right, well, it doesn't look like we're pulling the whole thing apart because the Torx bolts don't want to come out. I got one out. The other one's just wanting to start to strip. So I'm gonna go ahead and at least replace the seal. I think the pinion comes out this side with the snap ring in there that holds the bearing in. So maybe we can get the bearing in as well. Maybe it doesn't have to come all the way apart. I can't remember. Done it one other time. It's just so long ago. I really don't remember. I could probably go back and look at the video, but I'm not going to. We're just gonna do this. Get that seal out of there and see what we can get done at least. So let's see what we can do. I feel like I'm holding that really close to my face. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get that seal out. Hopefully we can get the bearing in there. If not, we're gonna send it. I'm done with these Ranger diffs. It's gonna get a Razor 1000 diff the next time I need one. So we're gonna let this one just explode, don't care. And then we'll upgrade it to a Razor 1000. Just like we're gonna do the transmission next time that breaks. So, stumbling over my words. It's been a long day already. So yeah, let's go ahead and get that done.
Start it up.
Alright, well, the teeth, at least on the pinion, look good this time. They're not all chunked up. Ring gear looks the same. So there's a bunch of mud and water in there. But this bearing, on the other hand, don't know if you can tell, but that thing is f***ed. So, you need to get that one off, get the new one on. Probably gonna spray a crap load of brake cleaner to clean out all that mud and water, and then put it back together and hope for the best, I guess. It's just one thing after another with this f***ing bike. Alright, so the new pinion bearing is in. I'm good to go. Gonna put the new seal on. But in order to try and save some life out of this thing, I think I'm gonna go ahead and fill it up while it's like this. I'm gonna put a bunch of Lucas on this side. Get that bearing nice and sticky. Hopefully it'll save the life a little bit. So I really don't want to have to buy a new diff like anytime really soon, because I have a lot of money out on this thing already. But this should do for the meantime. It's these plastic cages, they break. I should have bought an upgraded bearing or something. Maybe it would have lasted longer. Gears look fine. That's what I mean, if I got to change another pinion bearing in it, so be it. But it's really that cage that came apart. You can see it right there. It's all broke. And that separated and caused the problem that I had. So pinion should be nice and tight now in that seal, so hopefully it won't leak anymore and get any more water back in here, because that's all that was in here. Actually, there's nothing really. There's barely any water. There's just some mud and sand and a little bit of water and some gear lube, but not much. But should be good now. So Lucas, seal. Let's do that. I know, might not be the best idea, but I'm gonna do it. Probably gonna get for it anyways, but I don't really care. Lucas is good for the sole. It'll be fine. It'll hold. And the new seal. Really wanted to put new seals in the whole thing and redo all the O-rings and the other bearings too, but this diff had other plans, I guess. A little bit around there as well. Make sure that seal surface is nice and lubed up. Probably could use grease too, but I'm in a Lucas kind of mood. Sticky. It's very, very sticky now. Oh, much better. No playing that at all. Let's hope it stays that way. But we shall see. We'll see what happens. Alright, let's get this bad boy back in there. Actually, while I have this thing out, probably in my best interest to go ahead and pop that off and fill it up. Hopefully this one's not as hard as the drain plug. Drain plug was a pain in the ass. Probably helped if I had it on a sturdier surface too. This is not gonna work this way. So stupid. That's way more than enough. Notice that drain plug right there. At least I thought I did. Guys, what did I do with the drain plug? I set it on top of the jack, but I don't know where it went. Did the dog take it? I had it like 2 seconds ago. What the f? Seriously, I sat it on that jack. And then I walked away. Oh, jeez. Was on the jack. He just fell down in it. I'm losing my mind, guys. Absolutely losing it. Alright. Oh, that water dripping out of my arms. Sure that's good. Sure that's real good for it. Ease my way in here. this way, or you came out this way. Go back in. Quit being a bitch. Go in. Come on. There we go. Whew. Now this should also be the most opportune time to put back the dry shaft on the pinion while it's slid so far forward. What's up, Bones? You gonna help me out down here? You gonna hold the flashlight for me? Okay, you're gonna hit me in the head. Ugh. Still have to put the bolt back in for the dry shaft, but I got it all lined up, ready to go. Well, at least I'm like 90% lined up, ready to go. Woo, thing slides way back. Yeah, we're good to go. So you get the vent line ran back up. Actually, I should probably run a longer vent line because this one only goes up to my dash. Probably part of the reason, because I go over my dash, and that's probably getting some water in it. Got a few things to tidy up here, but go ahead and plug that front diff back in while we're done here. Alright, I'm going to get this button back up, and then we can move on to installing the portals. So we're going to start in the back, because the back's very straightforward. We're just putting them on. The fronts, we have some modifications to do. But the backs will be really straightforward, so we're going to go ahead and do those. We're just bolting those on, getting them all done. We can do the backs 100%. The fronts, we're replacing these with Heim joints. I think I already went over that. When we do that, we have to modify the bracket slightly. And then we also have to make a new bracket for the tie rods, because we're basically going to push the tie rod further back to where it's straight instead of being pushed forward with the forward arms. Because we were having an issue on my bike and on AJ's bike where it would oversteer on one. It'd go past the neutral position and let one tire, you know, let's just throw numbers out. They would steer 45%, but... or 45%, geez. They would steer to like 45 degrees, but the one would oversteer and go to 65. So you'd have one at 45 and one at 65 because it would just go past that neutral position and just let it bend way out. And I was breaking front axles in two-wheel drive. AJ broke one front axle, I think, bending tire rods because of it. So we're going to get that taken care of with a new bracket, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So I'm going to button this up and then we'll start on the back portal. So let's get to it.
12 seconds later.
Alright, so on second thought, we're going to go ahead and end the video here. We have a lot of content already filmed for this one. The video's going to end up being long anyways. Don't want to make it longer with the portal install. We'll just do another video on it. Not the end of the world, just more content for you guys. So, I just want to take a second to thank you guys for supporting us the way you have been. Subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting, all that good stuff. It helps us a tremendous amount. So you guys keep doing that, we'll keep pumping out the content. So until next time guys, peace!